Hello, Naval Hospital Yokosuka. I'm Lieutenant Danielle Rapadas, and I'm the Diversity Officer here at the hospital. March is Women's History Month and a time to celebrate the struggles and achievements of women throughout the history of the United States. The Multicultural Diversity Association has put together a video highlighting different members of our command, reflecting on what Women's History Month means to them. Please join us in celebrating and enjoy the video.
I think it's important to observe Women's History Month as we want to show that women have always been groundbreakers, history makers, people to look up to and not just be relegated to one aspect of life. So it's important to have the entire collective involved in history.
We gotta appreciate the contributions that they contribute to society. We can appreciate their contributions to us that they've made throughout generations, throughout the years, the decades, the centuries.
Like even throughout history, women has helped shape the world and even shaped America to this day. Females helped fight in wars back then, even though they weren't allowed to. When men went to wars, they ran the country. They still continued the country, make sure everything was stable.
I think it's important that we observe Women's History Month because I think it's important to look at all of the accomplishments and actions that it took to get women to where we are today.
So this month is a time to honor the sacrifices and accomplishments of women who not only shaped our service, but also the country.
It's important to understand who's come before us so that we can build upon the things that they've done, because there's still many, many glass ceilings to be shattered. We're still hearing about first women to do whatever. So there are still many things to do and much work to do to move forward to make women even more a part of society and the world.
A lot of things wouldn't be here today, including you and me, without women. They hold a special place in where we are today, from medicine, science, and just entertainment too.
So I think women have had a very complicated history just for being women. So I think it's very important that we acknowledge that and reflect on it so we can really appreciate what it means to be a woman today.
It's important to embrace diversity because that's what makes, I think, the Navy unique, is that we have so much diversity. And it's not about ignoring differences, that we embrace the differences. And by embracing and celebrating being a woman, I think we progress into the future, into a more progressive society.
Women's History Month is important because we need to remember what women have done before us. You know, they give us inspiration in knowing that we can move in different directions, think outside the box, and kind of push forward with humanity, not just women.
Well, there's many women in our ranks, but there's very few women in senior leadership. So I think there's still many glass ceilings to be broken.
One female figure I look up to would be, of course, my mom.
So one female figure I look up to is actually my mom.
Obviously my mother.
I know it's kind of a cliche, but I really do look up to my mom as a female figure and just as a woman when I think of what a woman is.
My mom, she always believed in me, no doubt. I was one of her five, the big five.
There's my mom, 4'11" Filipino woman, strongest woman in the world. She has the energy of a 6'2", woman.
I look up to my mom because she raised me and my two siblings and really helped us all become the individuals we are now. And I don't think that she gives herself enough credit for how well she did.
Being a mother is probably one of the hardest jobs that exist.
When I talk to her and find out about her life and stuff like that, it may seem ordinary to most people, but to me, she's extraordinary.
My mom, she had me at a very young age, and despite that, she still was able to raise me and my siblings, and she was still able to go back to school, get her nursing degree, and she's still standing strong today.
She taught me that it doesn't matter where you are in life, age, place, state of mind. You can always start something new if that's your goal. You can always reach those goals and just completely change your life at any time and be successful with it.
One female figure I look up to is our 49th and current Vice President, Kamala Harris.
I specifically look up to Shirley Chisholm, and Jamaican folklorist Louise Bennett Coverley.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I respect her for all the work that she did for women's rights and also equality for both men and women.
Not only did she break the color barriers by becoming the first African American and Asian American vice president, but she also is the first female to hold the highest ranking office in US history.
They always fought for women having a seat at the table, and not just in the sense of an added accessory.
The one who comes first to mind is my sister. She's 2 years older than myself.
One female figure I look up to in my life is my older sister.
I really looked up to her and the ability to think outside the box and kind of do something in our family that had never been done before, which was join the military.
She is in law enforcement, so to be a female in law enforcement, I think that's very confident and brave of her, and she's always just been a big inspiration to me, and I really look up to her for that.
We want to thank all women who are part of the Department of Defense. Want to thank you for your strength and willingness to make so many sacrifices in support of the freedom cherished by all Americans.
If someone says you can't do anything, go find someone who says you can. Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone take that away from you.
No matter where you go, just know that the finish line is always within reach. You just have to work for it.
Don't be afraid. Stand out, speak on what you know, and be, courageous enough to say, I want to do this, I should do this, I can do this. So go out there and do what you can.
No matter what your race, no matter what your gender, no matter where you're from, do not let anyone tell you what to do.
I think the greatest way to learn about each other and to understand each other better is to develop our ability to have empathy. The greatest way to develop empathy is to hear other people's stories, know what they've been through. So I encourage people to read, to ask about other people's stories, and to create a passion for learning about others.
We as women need to empower each other, because empowering women attract more empowering women. And if we all empower each other and really celebrate that, then we're really unstoppable.
You have a voice. Use it. Don't ever be afraid to say how you feel. Your voice is your right. If you feel like your voice is still not being heard, then go to someone that will hear it. Just don't stop talking. Keep the conversation going, and that your voice can move mountains.